It's Dew Time with Pastor Steph.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Rise and shine. You're on with this Dew Time with Pastor Steph. How are you this morning? That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. For this is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. So, where were you yesterday? Yesterday was Wow Wednesday, and we were on with our girlfriend Vivian and her socially conscious segment. And whoa. For New York City, things are jumping up and down. She gives us our first item. More than 1 million in New York City are considered living in poverty. 1 in every 4 people in New York City that equates to. And they say that 1.1 million children are growing up in a poverty-stricken home. Now, this is the highest poverty level since over 10 years ago. And that's because food, healthcare, childcare, all of these things are rising at a much faster rate than our incomes are rising. So they need to try to put together some long-term solutions, and they are supposedly doing so. New York City is at it again. The New York City rule is shining its light on the police department. Yes, the NYPD is now going to be required to turn over their body cam footage in 30 days or less. The maximum is 30 days. Now, that's because they've been dragging their feet on when they turn in this body cam footage. Now, currently, there is no deadline. And it's even gotten to the point where there has been no body cam footage turned in. Yeah, that's the kind of carte blanche the NYPD is up against. Now, you're trying to rule the people of New York City, but yet y'all can't get together and turn in those body cam footage, right? Well, they say the ongoing investigations, all of the crime that's going on involving the NYPD, all of the NYPD shootings, yeah, they don't really have a handle on that because they don't have the body footage. Yes, so it's been going through major delays for quite some time. They say at one point it can take over a year to deliver the body cam footage. And like I said, some of the footage they have never turned in. So you want to make sure that you keep them prayers up, that the powers that be really put the nail into this issue, because there's nowhere in the world we should be living under this type of situation. Okay? All right. Well, again, New York City schools are in front of us, as they say that most schools in the city are segregated. Now, I think we kind of knew that already. We just didn't put it in those terms. So let me say it to you this way. So based on your housing and your economic status, you go to school where you live. So, of course, those who live in the poverty-stricken areas, the Blacks and Latinos are looking at one another. For those Manhattanites and those people who can really afford the expensive places to live, they're looking at another set of people. Yeah, on the other side of the fence. So we've been seeing this. We noticed the disparity, but there's nowhere in the world we would call it segregating, because you know what? That's just the way life is. Yeah, that's just the way life is. Now, my challenge is, some people would say, well, you know, the man trying to keep us down and they're trying to set us up and all kinds of things like this. Listen, if you can't help where you live and you're doing the best that you can, then you need to take a true, just stand on firm foundation and do what you need to do with your kids. So regardless of what they're getting in the school, if you do not like what you're getting in the school, you fight for it, and then you take care of whatever you need to take care of with your kids. All right? That's just the bottom line. Period. Point blank. Because even if you were on the other side of the fence, there's some things that they're not necessarily happy about. But they got money to pay for tutors and all kind of extracurricular activities to help these kids, excel in school. Then you come up with something. You get your people to gather together and work on the kids and help to build what you feel the school is not giving. Because even when you fight, it's not going to change overnight. So, I don't know what else to tell you, but that's the world. That's what we have. That's the world we live in, and that's the world we have to deal with, and that's what we have to do. Well, the last wow story was something else. A woman in Florida refuses to give up her bed in the hospital. Yep, they say they discharged her last year, and she won't leave. So now they are sitting before a judge trying to get her out because they say they just cannot push her out the door. And they say based on mental health and housing, they're finding an increase in this discharge issue. So can you imagine your bed can't be filled by someone who is really sick, which we know happens, and they're saying that's one of the things that's wrong, that they need that bed she's in. And I guess, there's some other stuff that goes on, you got to give her meds and all of this kind of stuff, and she won't leave. So I don't know. We're going to follow this story and see if they're able to get her out and how they're able to get out. Now, yesterday, if you go back, I gave a remedy. It ain't going to take no whole lot of rocket science to figure out how to get somebody up out of there. Just stop making their lives so pleasant. All right, but go back and listen. Excellent conversations yesterday with the ladies, and that's how we spent our Wednesday. Well, today is Therapeutic Thursday, the day we talk about our health in any shape, form, and fashion, whether it's physical health, emotional health, mental health, spiritual health, financial health, whatever it is, the Due Time crew can get it done. So stick around. Go ahead and get that healthy breakfast. Go ahead and tell somebody, anybody, everybody that it's Due Time with Pastor Steph is on. And whatever you do, don't go anywhere, because we will be right back.
Are the best food for reducing belly fat. Grapes are the best food for constipation. Kiwi is the best food for sleep. Dragon fruit is the best food for digestion. Watermelon is the best food for hydration. Coconut is the best food for energy. Sweet corn is the best food for gut fiber. Raspberry is the best food for fat burning. Lychee is the best food for glowing skin. Avocado is the best food for heart health. Cucumber is the best food for detox. Orange is the best food for immunity. Banana is the best food for muscle recovery. Strawberry is the best food for glowing skin. Salmon is the best food for thick, strong hair. Blueberries are the best food for brain focus. Pineapple is the best food for digestion. Peach is the best food for gut hydration. Lemon is the best food for liver support. Durian is the best food for natural testosterone support. Grapefruit is the best food for appetite control. If nature don't make it, don't take it.
5 things to pray to God every single morning and watch how your life becomes joyful. Number 1, Lord, fill my heart with your perfect peace. Isaiah 26:23 says, He will keep you in perfect peace whose mind is stayed on you because you trust in Him. Number 2, Lord, will you please every single one of my steps today. Psalm 37:23 says, A person's steps are directed by the Lord, and the Lord delights in his way. Number 3, Lord, I ask that you surround me with your blessings today. Psalm 5 verse 12 says, For you bless the godly, O Lord. You surround them with your shield of love. Number 4, Lord, I ask for your strength in every situation today. Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And number 5, this one is good. Help me to remain grateful in every circumstance. 1 Chronicles 16:34, Give thanks to the Lord, for he is good. His love endures forever. But none of those are effective unless you mean it from your heart deep down. God bless. Share to someone else.
Good morning, and good morning again. Woo, can the enemy try to throw a monkey wrench in your show? All right, but God said, no way, no way, no way. We up in there. So thank you for your patience. And thank you, Shantice, for jumping in and taking care of things. And we're going to say good morning to everybody inside of the studio. All righty. Ketty, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. We got a check-in from our boy, Serge. Thank you, Serge. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We got a check-in from our girl, Teresa. Hey, Teresa, thank you so much for joining us. And we got a check-in from our boy, Terrence. Excuse me, King Terrence. Thank you so much for joining us. And we can't go any further without saying good morning to the ladies that actually hold it down each and every morning. Let's say good morning to our girl Shantice. Looking forward to her being in here on the next screen, chatting with her today. And we must say good morning to our girl Anika. Thank you so much for making sure it all goes down whenever we need you. All righty. So let's talk about our health tip this morning. And oh my goodness. Goodness gracious. All righty. We have our health tip where we're talking about the blocked arteries. Ooh, you know what? I don't think we even realize sometimes that goes on in our body. And when I came across this, I think this may have been sent to me by one of our loyal viewers, that, this is something a little different. But when I kind of surveyed it, it looked familiar, and you'll see what I'm talking about in a second. So they say that our heart's highways, they call all the arteries and things like that our heart's highway. They say it needs some serious protection. So, we can't, we eat a lot of stuff that blocks and kicks up our arteries, and that's one of the reasons why we have an issue with our heart. So we want to unclog those heart arteries. We want to make sure that we are healthy. We want to make sure that we're not clogged up, because you know what that means? That means stroke. That means heart attack. And we can't have that. We cannot have that. We got to hang around for a little while. All right. So make sure you get those dark leafy greens in you. Remember I said we're going to see why this is like looking at some of the other stuff. Yes, the dark leafy greens. Those things always come up on our health list. We're talking about spinach, kale, arugula, things like that. They say that these are powerhouse vegetables. There are sources of nitrates, which your body converts to nitric oxide rather, and is signaling molecule that plays essential roles in your body. So they say while inflammation in blood vessels leads to decreased nitric oxide production, that if you eat these foods, it would help to lower your blood pressure, and that way it keeps the arteries open. We got to keep those arteries flowing, okay? They say that this also helps to improve blood vessel function and reduces inflammation. So get those dark leafy greens, again, that spinach, that kale, arugula. Spinach and kale, always on the list. Always on the list. Ain't nothing new. Guess what else is on this list? To clear out our arteries. Berries. Surprise, surprise, surprise. They say that they're actually arterial warriors fighting for your heart health. Yep, those little berries. Okay, they say these fruits are associated with numerous health benefits, such as reducing inflammation, improving heart health, containing fiber, vitamins, minerals, and all of the beneficial plant compounds that we need to keep our bodies healthy. They say research shows that blueberries can help prevent harmful plaques or lesions from increasing in size in arteries. Whoa, blueberries. That's it. Blueberries, but all the berries, but blueberry in particular, they say packs a giant punch against arterial plaque. And those antioxidants in those berries will definitely help to save your life, and it will prevent the plaque from building up. So they say get those strawberries, blueberries, blackberries for your heart and those arteries. All righty. Guess what else is on this list? Come on. Ah, there you go. Fatty fish. There you go. Again, the same stuff. That salmon, that mackerel, sardines, definitely are on this list. And they say that it is definitely fighting against our heart disease. And they say eating omega-3 rich fish helps to reduce the risk of coronary artery disease. Arteries, y'all. Arteries. They say omega-3 fatty acids are found in fatty fish like salmon and mackerel, as well as flax seeds, chia seeds, walnuts, helping to reduce inflammation, lower triglyceride levels, and improve overall cardiovascular health. And we were right in here last night making smoothies and chia pudding, and in the chia pudding that I made, I put in chia seeds, flax seeds, and walnuts. All right, so I'm looking forward to that flowing in my blood through those vessels. All right, guess what else is on this list? Oatmeal. Another thing I put in the chia seeds yesterday. Chia pudding. I didn't make my overnight oats. I just dumped a little bit of the oatmeal inside of the chia pudding. And they say don't estimate that bowl of oatmeal on that breakfast table. They say because oatmeal actually are effective artery scrubbers. They say eating oats can help significantly reduce the risk factors of having high cholesterol, and oats contain antioxidants that will help inhibit inflammatory proteins. While they did a study of people with coronary artery disease, found that those who consumed oat fiber regularly had lower levels of cholesterol and inflammatory markers, and they were doing much better than those who didn't eat the oats. Wow. Listen, I got to read this part. They say those tiny flakes of oats contain a soluble fiber that acts like microscopic sponges, soaking up cholesterol in your digestive tract before it hits your bloodstream, with steel cut varieties delivering the biggest artery cleaning punch. So it's a little rougher, that steel cut oatmeal. That's what they're talking about. It's rougher, but it's better than even the regular. But the regular oats does its job. Okay. Nuts. There you go. Nuts and seeds, which they just got finished mentioning in the other area. And they say that nuts and seeds are excellent sources of protein, fiber, healthy fats, vitamins, minerals that may help prevent clogged arteries by reducing, the LDL cholesterol, boosting HDL cholesterol, lowering systolic blood pressure, reducing blood sugar levels, and protecting against diabetes. Wow. All of that from nuts. They say of all nuts, walnuts contains the highest levels of heart-healthy plant-based omega-3s. All right. So you want to get those nuts? Definitely go for the walnuts. They are also saying that nuts like almonds, walnuts, or cashews, and seeds such as sunflower seeds, chia seeds, or flax seeds are great sources of protein, fiber, healthy fats that help to boost levels of HDL cholesterol while lowering the bad cholesterol. All right. So let me read that again. So they're talking about nuts and seeds that will help clean your arteries out. So they are saying all nuts, but especially walnuts, but nuts like almonds, walnuts, or cashews, and seeds like sunflower seeds, chia seeds, or flax seeds. Those are the best. Now, all of them work, but if we're going to eat, we might as well eat the best, right? All right. Olive oil. They say olive oil is like, guess what? Oh, goodness gracious. Liquid gold. There we go. All right. It's like liquid gold. They say extra virgin olive oil is the best. They say that it's a cornerstone for our polyphenols and anti-inflammatory properties, that it has a positive impact on inflammation within blood vessels and overall function. And you want to make sure you get that extra virgin olive oil to help reduce the inflammation and other complications of clogged arteries. This is all the stuff that's on all of our other lists. So we should be like zooming through these things. Garlic. They say garlic is excellent for your blood pressure, lowering it, and cholesterol levels. They say that it cleans the arteries and lowers risk of hypertension or high blood pressure. They say that garlic has also been known to improve coronary artery calcium levels. All right. So you want to make sure you get that garlic in your system. And we can put garlic in almost anything. Yep. Green tea. Every time they mention green tea, I got to do this. Every day. Every day while I'm on with you, I'm having a cup of green tea. They say swap that coffee in the afternoon for some green tea. They say that it lowers risks of death caused by cardiovascular disease. While green tea consumption was associated with a decrease in vascular cell adhesion molecules, it helps with so many other things. Wow. They say green tea contains antioxidants that prevent cell damage in arterial walls and reduce inflammation throughout your cardiovascular system. Wow. Here's the part I like. They say that studies show drinking just 1 to 3 cups daily can reduce heart attack risk by 20% and lower cholesterol significantly. Now, let me tell you what I've taken on recently. I started doing. So I just make 2 big things of green tea and I put them in the refrigerator. Now, I mix it with like an herbal tea as well as a little, there's another ginger tea that I use and it has like a little flavoring, sugar in it. And I put that in the refrigerator. And when I tell you it tastes like $1,000,000, and I get my green tea in. All right. Avocados. Yes, there's those avocados. They say that avocados are packed with heart healthy nutrients that will lower your LDL cholesterol and increase the HDL cholesterol. So in other words, it lowers the bad and heightens the good cholesterol. They say it's rich in potassium, helps to regulate blood pressure, reducing plaque buildup, improving arterial elasticity, and you're going to feel a whole lot better if you eat an avocado per day. All righty. So think about it. You want to clean them arteries, get to eating that avocado, drinking that green tea, eating that garlic, using that olive oil, get those nuts and seeds in you. Make sure you get that oatmeal, fatty fish, berries, and leafy greens. All righty. All righty. Ooh. So we should already be eating a lot of that food, y'all. We should already be eating a lot of that food. What do you think? Have you been eating that food already? If you've been eating that, then remember, I said this the other day. If you've been eating that, you are combating high blood pressure, you're combating diabetes, you're combating so many things. So many things. All righty. So come on, y'all. Let's get those things going. All right. All righty. Let me see if we got some comments going on here in our chat room. We got to check it from our girl Tamika. We'll be seeing her on the other side of the screen. And someone says those foods, who's that? Tim says those foods do help, but you have to do your part. Learn to limit soul food, salt, and sweets that are loaded with butter, sugar, and flour. Absolutely, Tim. I agree. But here's the thing. You're saying you got to do your part. That is your part, because if you eat berries, olive oil, garlic, what else did they say? Avocados, nuts and seeds. There ain't no room for the soul food, really. To be honest with you, if you're using the foods that we just got finished talking about and the other foods on our other list, you're absolutely right. Get rid of that soul food because there's no room for all of it. Not at all. So thank you so much for your comment. And Anika says, so much good food. Love chia seeds pudding. Yes. Yes. That's what I mean. When we start substituting and using these foods, how can we put butter on, all of those things, overuse the butter, overuse the salt. Ain't no room for it. So that's the best part about it. Just make sure you eat healthy. Yeah. Eat those things and you ain't got to worry about it. All right. All righty. What else are we talking about here? Let me get our news. What's going on in the news, y'all? All right. Well, I have an update. Remember back in 2003, there was that woman in Utah who had, she said that Her husband had died, and then she wrote a children's book to, teach them how to cope with grief. Remember that? And then they found out, after doing some investigating, that a homegirl was slipping him some fentanyl. Yeah, she killed the husband. Well, they ended up charging her, and it's been all this time. She's finally gone to trial. The trial is finished, and she has been found guilty of aggravated murder after poisoning her husband with fentanyl. And they don't only have her for aggravated murder, they have a list of things that they're charging her with. They are charging her with insurance fraud, because they said that they found out that homegirl, surprise, surprise, was cheating and planning on getting remarried to this other guy, and got the maid to get the fentanyl for her. Now, the maid didn't know that the fentanyl wasn't going to be for her, but for him. But the maid got, involved in this by answering and responding to this request. They also say that they found that not only she had opened up 2 other insurance policies against her husband, but it was going to amount to $2 million if paid out. Now, there was already a $4 million insurance policy on the table that she tried to cash in on once the husband was dead. So they got her for opening up the 2 insurance policies on her own, because they said that was done while she planned on killing him. And next, they have her for trying to access the insurance policy that they had in place for $4 million. Now, remember, I just got finished saying that she had gone to the maid? Yeah. Well, the maid, that's how they were able to smash her, because they went to the maid. They did some research on the maid and found out that the maid had been in rehab for drug use. And that's why she had access and ability to get to the drugs. And they initially asked her, did she get the drugs? She said no. But then when they found that she was on probation, because I guess she had been in jail or something for some drug thing. And what happened was she was still on probation. And what they told her was, if you do not say if you don't tell the truth, we coming back for that probation and we're snatching it back and you're going back to jail. Well, needless to say, she started talking. Not only that, it came out that she had called either the brother or the sister and had told them to tell the cops that her husband was using drugs. So I don't know who told that part, but that definitely came out. They also said that kid's book that she wrote, that it had some stuff in it that they could actually use against her. Now, how you write a children's book about grieving, coping with grief, and it's able to be used against you for when you supposedly killed your husband? Child. So they said after she was arrested, the mother gets a book, sends it to the sheriff's office, and writes, oh, this is the true her, the devoted wife and adoring mother. And there's no way in the world she could have done this. Well, it was the brother that she had told to tell her former attorney that her husband had confided in him about getting fentanyl from Mexico, and he got high every night. I'm trying to figure out who told that part. Did the brother rat her out and tell that? Man. Well, she goes for sentencing, and they say that she can get 25 years to life for this. Mm, 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 mm. Terrence says, good for her. We got to check in from our girl Viv. Hey, Viv. And Vivian says, she's slow, shaking my head. That was not a good plan. That always going to look at the spouse first. That's what we talked about the other day. And then you taking out all these policies. It makes it look so obvious. She might as well just go on and willingly. No need to fight. It's so true. I just got finished saying this the other day when we were talking about the former NFL player who killed the girlfriend and couldn't clean up properly. You are always the first person they gonna look at. And then they went in her phone and found that she had text messages and some voicemails she had left the night that her husband was dead. She was talking to the new boyfriend or the lover, and they were talking about getting together, getting married. All right, what else we talking about today, y'all? Speaking of fentanyl, y'all help me. Help me. Why? There's a middle school child. I'm trying to find out where, in Florida. Thanks to her experimenting, so she found a container on the bathroom sink, took it to school, went in the bathroom, dipped her finger in it, put it on her tongue, went back to the class, and then ended up collapsing. Why? Because it was fentanyl. Who leaves fentanyl on the side of the sink when there are kids in the house? You shouldn't have it in the beginning, but you're going to be so careless. You're going to be so careless to leave it there? Nah. Oh my goodness gracious. So now they're charging the couple with all kinds of felony charges connected with her overdose. And they say that the woman, now they are her caregivers. Now, this is the thing that I don't understand. Why would you leave your kids in the hands of people that look like this? What in the world are you doing with kids as a caregiver? Because the last thing they say is that Granny, her real grandmother, says that she's doing well. So grandma, why don't you have the baby? Why don't you have the baby? Why do they have the baby? Because they never said that this was either one of her parents. They said that these are her caregivers. So Grammy, if you know that she's okay now, thanks be to God that they were able to act quickly. They got her some Narcan, and that saved her life. They called the paramedics, and thanks to that, she's living. I'm trying to see how old she is, because they're saying a middle school girl. I think she's around the age of 12 or so. But I'm trying to figure out why in the world is she in these people's custody? They say that his bond is set for $450,000 because it was his fentanyl, and the woman is only at $25,000, and I guess because it wasn't her fentanyl, but it was in her house. Oh boy, I tell you. What else we talking about real quickly? I want to do one more because we are behind because of the technical difficulties. All right. I want to know what y'all think about this one. So last year we talked about, and it was the latter part of last year, with Adams Mayor Adams implemented a law that anyone who was riding an e-bike or bicycle above the speed limit or operated it dangerously, they would get summonses, and it would operate like a moving violation. Well, Mayor Mamdani has stepped in, and he's now overturning that, because here's what he said. He says that when the police stop motor vehicleists, that they don't have to go to court. They get low-level traffic offenses. So they want to make sure that the e-bike riders and the bicyclers get the same treatment. Why should motor vehicleists be excused and they get a summons, but their summons is different than the e-bike people and the bicyclists? Now, I'm trying to figure out, it said that it directed police to issue criminal summons to those riding bicycles or e-bikes for stop sign or traffic violations, requiring them to appear before a judge in criminal court or risk arrest. And they're saying that regular motor vehicleists, they get the summons, but they don't have to appear in court. So why would they need to appear in court if you're an e-bike rider or a bicyclist, but the motor vehicleist, who can do a lot more damage if they hit you or if they go past these violations? Why didn't you just step up the game of the motor vehicleist? Oh my gosh. I don't know if I like him. I'm going to be honest. I didn't vote for him, but when he was in office, I was like, well, you know what, Steph, maybe, he will do something. I'm sorry. Every single rule that I have seen come across this, my studies, has gone against the grain for me. I have not seen him do anything that is beneficial. So instead of removing the e-bike and bicyclist threat, you should have now made it where if a motor vehicleist was in violation of the traffic law or whatever, that they need to go to court. Why would you reduce and back up? That is so stupid. That is so stupid. And here's the thing, at least to me, here's the thing. He didn't say we don't want to load up the courts, because before, I don't know if y'all remember, but before that was a big thing. Oh, with what, I can't think of his name, the DA. Oh, he's an idiot. Remember they were lowering all of the offenses for the people who were committing these crimes, and they were letting them out and they were letting them off because they said that the courts were loaded and they didn't have time. Yeah, he didn't even say this. That's not even what Mamdani said. I don't know. Where's my due time crew? Where's our Lady Tamika? Because I want to know what they think. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
I am well, thank you. Oh, we got a check in from our girl, Jessica. Hey, Jessica, thanks so much for checking in. We appreciate you. How are you, Lady Tamika?
I'm doing A-okay.
All righty. So, let's see. We only did a couple of stories today. Let's talk about the dumb widow. The Black Widow.
Yeah, I saw a piece of that in court. Not in court, but I saw a little bit of it on television. And when I tell you, she looked so sad and so, petrified, like, the way she was holding her face, as if everybody was defrauding her. When in actuality, she was manipulating people. One of the things that they brought out in court was that the maid wasn't very well educated. And so she was, because she wasn't well educated, she was easy to be manipulated. And they kept talking about the types of pills, that she got. It had something to do with the letter on the pill. She didn't know what she was getting. She told one thing, and then come to find out that wasn't what, she was manipulated, and because she didn't know much, she was about to go down for that, and they asked great detail of information with her, as well as there was someone that was incarcerated that she got it from, and he as well, didn't know as much. So this wife knew a lot more. She knew how to manipulate the system, and in turn manipulated two people who would have taken the fall. I mean, she had it going on. They would have taken the fall for her stuff.
Ain't that something?
But you think about it also, she was wise, but not too wise. Because my thing is, if you're going to build or create a new insurance, you don't just go start cashing stuff in right away. You wait, you at least
right.
At least a year. No, you gonna wait. Oh, he dead today. I'm cashing in tomorrow.
Dumb. That's why I said let's talk about the dumb widow. Right. Because, like you said, come on, we've been watching TV and movies for the longest time. You ain't learned nothing yet. Yo, you're a dumb. Oh, let's see what your girl Shanti's got to say about this thing here. Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, goodness. Is that indicative that we're talking about the dumb?
I have forgotten all about this story.
You remember this one?
Yes. What kind of grieving are you doing that you put it in the children's book?
Right. You got to tell somebody, so you tell the kids.
Once upon a time, there was a woman who gave birth to you, who hated her husband. It's like, what? How much more obvious can you get? So, and this is why I'll never forget. I think it was on Comic View. And one of the comedians says something about him committing a crime with someone. And he said, we both hid, but in separate locations. And I was good, but the cops found him. They handcuffed him, walked him past the bush I was in. He stops, the cop turns and looks at the bush and says, they got us, dog. This is what happens when He's like, they ain't get us, they gonna you. But this is what happens when you work with people. Instead of you, and it's good that, you didn't, because now you get caught. But instead of you doing this by yourself, you recruit someone. And that person always ends up talking. You have such a better chance of just figuring out how to do it by yourself. Try ChatGPT. I mean, I don't know. Just do it by yourself. And now it was easy for you to manipulate her, so you don't think it's going to be easier for the cops to get her to talk?
Right.
If the most you could threaten her with is what? To hurt her? Like, oh, I'll slap you if you don't do this. They'll possibly deport her somewhere she didn't even come from. Okay? So what are you talking about? I don't. But again, it's good that she was that stupid because it helped her to get convicted. So
yeah. Oh, let's see what Pastor KL's got to say about this thing. Where's Pastor KL? Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right. What you got to say about the dumb widow?
Well, unfortunately, I don't know the story of the dumb widow, but from what I hear from y'all, I think she's stupid. Whatever the story is, she's stupid. I agree with y'all. She's stupid. She's a dumb widow.
You know what? You ain't no help.
Right.
I don't know the story.
we did this story a couple of years ago. This is just an update, of this
I'm
woman
old.
who killed
I
killed
can't
her
remember a
husband.
couple of days ago.
You know what? Who killed her husband with the fentanyl and thought she was gonna get away with it. And it's funny because I don't think she lasted 5 minutes, y'all. She was caught like instantaneously.
Mhm.
Because just like Vivian said, just like I said on Monday, or Tuesday, they look at you first. If they don't look at nobody else, they look at you first. So I don't know. We got a check-in from Miss Grace. Good morning, Miss Grace. Thank you so much for joining us. Well, I'm sorry. I'm about to call this the dumb mayor. I'm lost. I am really lost as to how they took what's his name? Mayor Adams implemented, because they found out that these e-bikers and these bicyclists were speeding. They were riding on the sidewalk. They were going past the speed limit. They even showed that there were speed limits that they put into effect for e-bike riders and bicyclists, and they were going above that speed limit. They're supposed to obey the same traffic laws that the motorists do, and they found that they weren't. So Adams put into place that they should be summoned and they would have to appear in court, as well as if you did not, you risk arrest. Mamdani comes in, he reverses that with this commissioner. Now this police commissioner is actually from Adams. He kept her on. So she and he reversed this whole process of what happens with the e-bikers and the bicyclists, because they say the motor vehicleists only get the summons. They don't get the summons and then have to go to before the judge and then and possibly get arrested. My thing is, why don't you just, instead of dropping the e-bikers, why don't you just up the motor vehicleists? Because my thing is, if you're violating traffic laws where you're going to possibly kill somebody, you need to be in front of the judge anyway. Call me crazy. I don't know. Shantice, I'm going to start with you on this one.
All right, I just want to make sure I'm understanding, because I was trying to keep up when you were initially giving the story. So instead of the bicyclists having to pretty much pay in any form for them obstructing traffic, he's reversed that to where the bicyclists are in the clear regardless of how they're riding these bikes in the street.
No, what has happened is, when Mayor Adams put the whole thing, remember, they didn't have anything.
Right.
So when Adams put it into place, he put in three things. One, they would get a summons. Two, they must appear before a judge. And
Right.
Three, if they did not appear before the judge, they would risk getting arrested.
The bicycle.
However, right. E-bikers and bicyclists.
Okay.
The motor vehicleists, the only thing you get is the police can write you a summons. That's where it ends.
Okay. And now Mamdani has reversed all of that.
He's reversed it to all the bicyclists can get is the summons, like the motor vehicle people. So they don't have to go before the judge, and they do not risk getting arrested because the other ones don't. So why are you holding them to a standard that you're not holding the motor vehicleists to? That's his challenge.
So like we questioned if Adams really rode the train, I'm questioning, are you really out in the street? Do you not see how ignorant these bicyclists are? Ignorant. They're on the sidewalks.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember where I was driving recently, and I don't know if he was speeding into space, if he thought the rapture was coming. I don't know. He was just sitting there at the green light, just staring up. And I'm like, hello, sir. Do you not see that the light has changed? And then you're cruising, you doing 5 miles per hour. I need to do at least 20 miles per hour. Then you got something that's going in and out So you're not seeing how they're obstructing traffic. You're not seeing how they're a hindrance. You're not seeing how they possibly cause accidents. So now you just told them you can just ride however you want to ride. That's silly to me. Yeah, that's silly to me. I don't. It's like he's. I don't. I don't know. I don't know if he's looking at it like it's a bunch of migrants who are bicyclists, because I'm not understanding what would be the point in you doing this. But they're causing a problem. It's like everything he calls himself implementing is causing problems. Between this and wanting to give free fare on the bus and all, it's just like it's caused the thing with the Uber fees and all that. It's like I don't understand what you think. You're not making the world a better place, sir. I don't know what he thinks he's doing.
Well, clearly he thinks he is. Pastor KL, they say that the reason why Adams changed it or implemented it rather was because there was a concern over pedestrian safety, given the high volume of e-bike traffic that has come to New York City streets, primarily because of a particular reason. Now, before you say anything, here's what Mom Donnie said. He said he doesn't want to make it hard for the Uber Eats and DoorDashers. They shouldn't have to go through all of that. I'm beginning to think his family up in that
That's what I'm saying. It has to be
because you're a little concerned about these people for me. Pastor KL, what say you?
Well, first of all, I visited New York a couple of months ago, and I saw a bike on every corner. It's almost like you run out of time and the bike just cuts off or what. I mean, and I had to ask my father, what is this? What's going on? And then how fast is the speedometer on these bikes? Buy a car. It's just too dangerous for me. Now, I'm going to tell you, I'd rather have kept Adams' law, because as a driver, I think these folks on these bikes are more dangerous than the people in the cars.
Right.
So he has a driver who has, I'm not gonna lie, heavy foot. Just give me the ticket. I don't feel like going to court. And because you only have to go to court if you fight the ticket. And you only have to go to court if you don't pay the ticket. Then there's a warrant out for your arrest. You know what I mean? But no, I'm just because I'm going a little fast, I'm not zigzagging like man. I saw these bikers like they was in the Olympics. Where you going? I'm just not understanding. It's just crazy. Like you getting a medal. No, I think they should go to court. Because a lot of these, from what I've seen, because I'm not in New York anymore, but it's a lot of young folks. There's a lot of young folks, there's a lot of college folks, who's just careless and reckless. Oh, you don't even understand they can kill themselves.
Tamika, Mom Donnie says that the Transportation Department will be launching a new training initiative on e-bike safety for delivery workers, as well as working with the City Council on legislation to regulate the delivery apps that dispatch gig workers across the city, often on e-bikes. Will that help?
Absolutely not. They have gone out of their mind. You have to look for. I'm walking down the sidewalk where pedestrians are supposed to be walking.
Right.
I have to hear beep beep.
Right.
Are you really serious? On the sidewalk. I have to look both ways on a one-way street as a pedestrian, because you're coming down the street that a vehicle is not supposed to come down. As a driver, I have to look to the left and to the right, because you decide you're going to ride on both sides of the road. Doesn't matter. which side there is a bike lane for a reason, but no, I got to look on both sides because at any moment you just decide you're going to do whatever. I've seen a bicyclist ride, in between a bus and a car. And I'm saying to myself, oh my, I'm in the car behind going, oh my God. How in the world? Like you don't see or a vehicle coming back, and instead of you just waiting, you going around because you think you small enough, and you just miss. And I be praying the whole time, oh my God, please, please, please save their life, And I think that going to court, it's not but you learn your lesson. If you go to court one time, you're not gonna keep doing the same thing over and over. So go to court. You go to court, and you go to court, and you go to court. Everybody goes to court.
Yeah, one of the things that came to go ahead, Pascal.
I just have a question because I'm ignorant to the situation. But does these e-bike riders have to have a license, a driver's license, or can anybody just get an e-bike?
Anybody can get it.
Oh no, yeah, they need to go to court.
Right. That was one of the problems. And that's what I was getting ready to say. I see two issues here. Why you would mandate an e-bike rider and a bicyclist to go to court opposed to a motorist, because the motorist can only drive in the street. They have to be licensed, and they can get points on their license. It's a moving violation, and they get points on their license if it's in the state of New York, because even though you may get a ticket out of state, they cannot put points on your license out of state. So if you're driving in New York City or New York State and you get a moving violation, it's points on your license. The reason why they were probably mandated to go to court is because there's no license.
Right.
There's no license to put this against. So that's one of the things I was getting ready to say, Pastor Kale. There's no license. So therefore, make them go to court, because like you said, Tamika, once you go there, you ain't going to want to keep going back. Number two, you as an e-biker or bicyclist pose more of a danger, because just like you said, when you step in the street, you know to look both ways. When you on the sidewalk where they have infiltrated, you're not looking for them. The only other person you're looking for is another walker. So now make them go to court when you are now putting people in danger on the sidewalk. Yes. So I could easily see why they are held to a different standard than a motorist. But here you go. It's again. Maybe it's me. They claim he was raised here since he was 9. No, I'm sorry. Maybe them extra 9 years we needed to do something to him or do something for him. Because I'm sorry, you talking like somebody who ain't from here.
This is what I'm saying.
You don't know nothing. So I don't understand. Where do y'all live and exist prior to y'all taking office? I don't understand. Y'all live in a 2x4 box and you don't see anything? Because anybody, like especially all of you, even Pastor Kale said, even in his visit, these people pose a danger. Period. Why would you undo something like that? Even if you left it in there as a scare tactic, why would you undo it?
But Pastor Steph, you just covered a story a few months ago about the bicyclist that killed the guy,
the man, the father.
Yes, because he like Pastor Kale asked, well, what is the speedometer saying? It was like, you sure this wasn't a motorcycle? This was something where you have to pedal? What kind of legs do you have that you were going that fast that the second this man stepped off the curb, you pretty much took him blocks with you. You took him down and killed this man on a bicycle.
Yep. That's why I said I don't understand where you've been. How could you have been living here in New York City and you as a regular everyday person don't have this concern? And everybody else, regardless of what borough you live in, we all are experiencing the same thing. When Pastor KL came, he wasn't visiting our boroughs.
Right.
With Lady Tamika, she's not talking about our boroughs and where Pastor KL is. We're talking about 3 different boroughs here out of the 5. How is it that you don't see none of this? They're just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Oh my goodness. All right, we got our topic this morning. And I thought this was interesting because I've been sitting on this for a couple of minutes. And we're talking about dating standards. We're talking about our health. If nothing else will kill you, dating just might.
Amen.
Our dating standards are in question. And we want to know, are your dating standards too high based on this list? All right. So one of the things they say, you can tell you have a high, your dating standards are too high if you have an extensive list of deal breakers. And I'm going to start with you, Lady Tamika.
I can see, well, he's got to have this and he's got to have that, and or she if she this, then no, then and if she's this, then you building way too much. I think your standards are too high. There are going to be issues that are not perfect, especially when you first meet. Nobody's going to be exactly what you owe. They got to have this and got to have that. So you've just eliminated a whole slew of people. I'll give you a for instance, he's got to have a car. So when you first met him, he was on the bus, but you had no idea that his car, his high value, high end car was in the shop. Now, we understand that sometimes that's the running joke, but there are situations where that does happen. And you just decided, oh, well, I saw you on the bus line, so I'll never talk to you. So you just eliminated yourself from something that could have been really good.
Okay. Shantice, are your standards too high when you have an extended list of deal breakers?
The biblical answer is yes. It's too high. It's too high. God says he looks at the inner self while we focus on the outer self. So before you get to God, you like Lady Tamika said, oh, he got to be tall, dark, and handsome and all this. After you get with Jesus, you learn to just ask the 3 basic questions, or you have to minimize it to 3 basic questions.
If he breathes.
And it can be among. Wait, what did he say? What did he say?
Is he breathing?
I mean, that would have to be a question if you got to put the mirror up on his nose. But, amongst those 3 basic questions are, do you brush your teeth? Can you read?
Oh my God.
And can you put sentences together? There's some other real basic ones you got to ask nowadays. But you learn to kind of... You learn to lower your human standards, because I'm serious. It's like,
oh goodness,
you learn to lower it, because I keep telling people always kept saying, like, you don't know someone until they get angry, and it's like, no, you don't know someone until God starts dealing with them. So when God starts dealing with you, if you can bypass them 3 basic questions, then maybe we could work with something. So yeah, the standards might still be a little too high. Even if it seems, rational to you, but it still may be too much. You gotta understand what you're working with.
Pastor KL, I just have a question. Where is Brian at this time?
Right. Brian need to be here. Hold on, let me call him.
Right, you ain't getting any hello Shantice today.
Right. All right, Pastor KL, what say you? Are your standards too high when you are, you got a whole list of deal breakers?
I don't know that they're too high. I think if they're realistic, You know, first of all, for men these days, I heard Shantice talking about three basic questions. The one basic question you got to ask a female these days is, was you born a female? That's the first
Oh,
question. Was you born female? I mean, I forget about all that other stuff. I need to know what did you come out Shantice? You know what I mean? Or was you Charlie? Was you Charlie? You know what I mean? So that's one of the basic. That is the basic question. Before listen, watch this, and I hate to say it. Before you ask them, do they love the Lord? Because now they can love the Lord now that they change. But was you born a female? That I got to know that. Now the other question is, if you're that woman who says, I need a man with who makes six figures, and you on fries, that ain't realistic. That's not realistic. Or I need a man who doesn't have multiple baby mamas and you got six kids. You know what I mean? These are not realistic things that you want. So I think, having standards, but let them be realistic.
Okay. The question is, are your dating standards too high when you constantly compare potential partners to a concept, an ideal? Pastor KL.
Okay, I'm trying. Okay, so you got somebody who could be there, but you trying to mold them into something else? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Then leave them alone, because that's not who that is. If you have if you created, a Frankenstein already, then go find Frankenstein. Because listen, even if he tries to concede because he wants to be with you, eventually he is going to come back out. He can't keep playing this role forever. Even the greatest actor has to come out of character. You can't stay that character forever.
All righty. All right, Tamika. It says your standards may be too high when you constantly compare this potential partner to an ideal or concept. Would you agree?
Yeah, you done seen something on television that you like, and this is what I want, and this, he's got to be like this, and you've got this role imagined, so you put this man, or in the opposite case, you put this woman through all kinds of stuff, to make them what you want. This is kind of like a Barbie type of thing. It kind of makes me think of the Gilligan's Island when Mary Ann was trying to be Ginger. You're not cut out to be Ginger. Ginger is sassy and debonair and blah, blah, blah. And she looked like a doggone fool just spinning around in circles. And unfortunately, that's what you're going to put your mate through. Don't do that. Be nice.
All right, Shantice.
Who are you trying to compare this to? Everybody's a fraud. I was thinking, it's for real. It's someone brought up a celebrity couple. I don't remember who. I said, I don't want to hear nothing about no more celebrity couples. I'm telling you, had the one who wrote the book, Wait book, this book, got a divorce. You got the other ones, then got married in jail, came home, had this fairy tale wedding, they divorced. You got the other. It's like, who are you comparing this to? What idea? Because again, I say, when you start letting the Lord deal with you, you just learn how incompetent you and everybody else in the world. So what is the idea that you really have outside of, okay, God, this is what I would like to have, and trusting that he is preparing you while he's preparing the other person, if he has another person for you, and just waiting on that. But see, all of this, what I've learned about people love the idea. They love the idea. They love the idea of being in a relationship. They love the idea of marriage. They might even love the idea of you, but they're not willing to do what it takes to keep that going. So once that idea formulates into another idea, bye, baby, bye. You going. You are like Dookie on the bottom of his or her shoe, literally, because the idea doesn't last but for so long. So while they are showing you that they're trying to grab a hold of an idea, you need to be out because it's going to be so temporary. Once that idea of you fades, there you go too.
Okay. Tamika, are your standards too high when your friends and family mention your high standards?
Your friends and family are trying to tell you, your standards too high. You need to cut it. It's just too much. Sometimes they're trying to, a little bit. They're trying to let you know, he doesn't have to have, 6 figures. Maybe he's working towards it, or, they're trying to soften the blow so that you don't get your feelings hurt. A lot of times you got all of these high-minded things. They're trying to literally tell you, slow down a little bit. Look at what, see the signs. They're trying to let you know there's a sign there. Slow down. You're gonna get your feelings hurt. You're gonna hurt yourself. So that's pretty much what they're trying to tell you. Standards too high. Cut them.
All righty. Shantice, when your family and friends mention your standards, your high standards.
I don't know which family members and which friends.
Right.
Because
true,
you could be you could be talking about something as basic as, like Pastor Kale said, oh, he's on fries and I'm trying to get him to move up to washing letters, and they're like, well, why? You like, why? Because I don't want to stay with nobody who's only on fries. So that's real relative. You have to really assess where this advice is coming from, because again, people with the low standards don't want to hear you talk about standards at all, let alone high standards.
Right.
I'm serious.
Right.
If you didn't finish school, if you didn't finish basic school, and I'm now talking about going back to college, you're not trying to stay in that conversation. You won't try to tell me that's silly. You're 40. You need to just shut up and go and get this job. So I don't know. You got to pay attention. You got to see how their standards are first before you start taking advice or having conversations. I don't have conversations with certain people because I already see where your standards are.
Okay. Both of y'all got good points. Pastor KL, when your family and friends start talking about your high standards, what you going to do?
I'm with the conversation of, it depends on which family and friends. If you find yourself at Shanti's house every day, and Shanti's are saying, "Damn, you ain't got a man yet," you might want to lower your standards. If I keep on having to borrow money from Shanti's, Shanti's gonna say, "Hey, bring it down a little bit." Even the guy on fries can give you a couple of dollars. There are some people that's gonna push you away because you're invading their space. You know what I mean? And now they just want you to find somebody for you. Why is it that I'm your only friend? Why is it that I'm the only sister girl or brother friend that you got? Find you a man. You're lonely. You know what I'm saying? You're lonely. Find you somebody. And sometimes people push you away because they tired of you and don't know how to say, "I'm tired of you. Can I sleep in today? Why are you at my house at 8 o'clock? They calling me, why are you here ringing the bell? As soon as you drop the kids off to school, you're at my house. No, we got to find you a man. I'm going to help you. I'm gonna help you. Plenty of fish. What's all them sites? So we did a bunch of sites. We can figure out Christian meat. You know what I mean? Whatever. Low esteem. Whatever we need to do, let's start at the bottom. You know what I mean? Sometimes we have to start at the bottom. It's okay. You know, listen, even the Bible says sometimes you have to do your first verse over. Let's go to firstworsover.com. Firstworsover.com.
If there is a site for dating called Low Esteem, I'm reporting that site. I'm reporting that site. That's worse than marriage after lockup.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. All right. Are your standards too high when you're focused on what you deserve rather than what you can offer? Shantice.
Absolutely. Shut up. I'm not trying to hear nothing. I'm not trying to hear nothing. I watch, you know what I've learned too? I've learned, and I had to say this, I actually had to say this to someone the other night, and I felt so proud of myself. I was like, wow, I'm really in the Lord, right? Because I had someone say to me, for real, like, you know, like when you be realizing certain things, like, wow, that really must mean I'm in the Lord. Because I wouldn't have said it like that if I said it. So I had someone say something to me like, because I said something like, God, if you have someone for me, I need you to like have the shimmering halos or something around them so that I can identify who you said. Because you allow me to see that I just don't know how to pick them. I'm horrible. So and I know the devil can disguise himself as an angel of light, but there's a certain light he cannot mimic. So you give me light to see. And they asked, oh, you see that light around me? I was like, no, I see a bunch of hazards. Stop. Warning. That's what I see around you. Okay? Because and I said it just like that. And it wasn't until after I said it, I even had to laugh. And they said nothing, so they took offense, but that's your problem, not mine. I see that because I see you not taking care of yourself the way you need to, the way God is showing you need to. So why am I trusting you with me, sir? So I'm not trying to hear about what you feel like you deserve, because you don't give yourself what you deserve. Wow. So why am I listening to that? I'm just so tired of people talking to me. I've told a few people, oh, I want better. Shut up. No, you don't. I'm just not the friend to sit here and hear this. I hear this all the time. No, you don't. When we do not do what we need to do, even the hard parts, we don't love ourselves. But yet we got all these requirements, and God had to show this to me about me. He's like, how you want all this? You want a man to love you, all that. And I just revealed to you that you never liked you. But this man got to love you. He got to be all into you. He better not cheat. He better not do that. But you don't like you. How does that work? So, I'm not trying to hear that.
Wow. That was a long answer.
I have to give the revelation.
It was passionate.
Oh my gosh. Tamika, what say you? It said you're focused on what you deserve rather than what you have to offer.
Right. It's kind of like sometimes relationships can be like a job. When you
job.
First start, you got this whole list of things, and it's like, wait a minute, what are you bringing? What are you bringing to the table? It's I deserve, and I gotta have, and blah blah blah, and me. After a while, you get tired of hearing all of that. What are you bringing to the table when you two get together? Especially, you realize that you're not dating just to be dating. You're dating to get married. And so what are you bringing to the table when y'all come together? It's not just, I deserve for him to open the door for me. I deserve, first thing in the morning, he's going to make me breakfast in bed, blah, 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 blah. I deserve. Please stop talking, because, you annoying me, and I'm not in the relationship. You're going to drive that person crazy.
Wow. She said, please stop talking to me. Pastor KL.
Man, Lady Tamika just said one of the key things when you say, what are you bringing to the table? It's so funny how you would hear men talk about what they bring to a table, and they don't have a table at home. How are you bringing something to my table, and you live with your mama at her table? So what you taking you taking the china from your mama's table and bringing it with us?
Wow.
How are you doing that? Now, you want somebody, let's go for the other side. You want somebody to open the door and do all this stuff and take care of you and your 5 kids. What you bringing to the table besides another man's children? What you bringing to the table? Not a table full. I don't even have a chair at your table.
Michael's automatically has 8 chairs at the table.
Wow.
Normal table comes with 4.
Right. Woo.
Now you got to put me to American table at your house.
Oh my goodness. All right. Are your dating standards too high when you've been single for a long time, despite actively dating Pastor KL?
Wait, what?
I think so. I think it's dangerous for any man or any woman to live alone or be by themselves for a long time, because they learn that they can do it by themselves. So now they're just not going to put up with just anything. I think being by yourself, though it's good, it's a dangerous place when you're trying to date, because stupidity shines real bright. I mean, you see stupidity miles away. You see what you're not going to tolerate miles away, because you see that you can pay your own bills, you get your own car, you get your own this, and I don't need you. I desire you. I want you. There's a difference between needing someone and wanting someone. When you need someone, you're going to settle for anything. When you just want somebody in your life, you ain't got to tolerate that nonsense. So then your status become a whole lot higher, because I don't need you. If you're an added attraction, I'll watch the movie. But I don't need you. I don't have to have appetizers with this meal. I can just go eat.
Okay, so I have a question. So how long is too long by yourself?
When you start talking about 2 or 3 years, you've already settled into who you expect. Wait, let me say this. It's also an age thing too. Because if you're an older person and you're mature, you learn how to cope by yourself. Young folks sometimes have the need of being someone, good, bad, or indifferent. They just don't want to be by themselves.
All right. So what if you need that time to detox, as well as God needs to work on you? How do you put a time limit on that? How do you?
You can't put a time limit on. I just think that the longer you wait, it's almost like, you had a baby and you ain't been working, but you've been taking care of your kids for 4 or 5 years. Now you're trying to get back into the job focus. You don't know how to interview no more. You don't know these things. You don't know how to get back into the swing of things anymore. So that becomes a problem. Listen, you've been out of this dating game. Dating is different than when you and I started dating, Stephanie. We had Betty and Wilma, and all we had to do is work in the rock quarry, and we was okay. We can't do that with these young folks.
Absolutely.
So if you out of the game, huh?
I said I'm with you 100%, but I still ask, what if you need detoxing time, as well as time for God to work on you? How do you then put a time limit on? Because see, you said something that was very interesting. You said, but when you're tired of waiting, when you're ready to move on, pretty much, what does that say for God's involvement in this process, possibly?
Well, see, now that you put it in that perspective, if you're taking time off to be with God, then you have to allow God to order you and to tell you when it's time to move. You can't move on your own self. Listen, obviously, you're by yourself because you moved on your own self. Unless somebody died out of your life and you became a widow, you made a move that wasn't directed by God, and you messed up. So now you have to try it a whole different way. Your way didn't work. So if we're going from a spiritual point where we're saying we're going to wait on God, then we have to wait on God. But sometimes loneliness will push you out the comfort of God, unfortunately.
Absolutely. And that's why I wanted to stick a pin there, because most times loneliness will push you out of the will of God, because you're tired of waiting, because your eggs are drying up, because you're getting old and you don't want to die by yourself, because you're lonely, and it pushes you, all of those things push you into the dating arena. And that's one of the reasons why we so twisted when we in the dating arena, because you have you as well as how many other people are thinking the same thing. How many other people are thinking the same thing? I got to get back out there before I get all dried up. And now, I just have a question. What is with the disrespectful behavior, your intended disrespectful behavior? Why do you infiltrate? I'm shifting gear altogether, because we talking about Therapeutic Thursday. These people in these to come in your chat room, they need some therapy. They really, really need some therapy. I don't get it. You spend your time. There are 1,000,001 channels out here. Why go into a chat room to be disruptive, disrespectful, when you can go into any other chat room that you like with your psychotic brain? This is what's in the dating pool. This is what's in the dating pool. People who behave like this because they don't let God do what he needs to do. This is who you go out there and date when you jump the gun and you're tired of waiting. I just had to throw that in, because it is amazing to me where this has become just such a habit. Amazing. Okay.
Well, that's because they look at the profile instead of reading the profile. People can't get past the picture. Once they see the picture and it looks like something that they've been dreaming about all their life, they don't see the substance. A lot of times we keep on looking at the plate. You ever see an advertisement of the plate of food at a restaurant, and you go to the restaurant because of the advertising? And then when you get there, that plate of food, that steak don't look as big as it was on the picture. But we go there anyway because of what has been advertised. So we look at the advertisement. We don't look at the ingredients, what the substance of the plate is, and we fall for the picture.
I wanted to really quick piggyback off of what Pastor KO was saying about the like, you don't know how to get back into the swing of things. I had a guy say to me, because one of the quickest ways I can get a man to back off is tell him I'm not having sex. Bye. I wanted to get to know you better. I'm not having sex. I don't ever hear from them again. Ta-ta. Which confirms what I was doing.
Absolutely.
Right, and I had one guy say to me, oh, well, how long has it been? Because, they didn't came out with some new like positions and stuff. And I said, well, I have a question. I got one question. Are the private parts still the same? Do men still have that and women still have that? What do you mean? I was like, do men still have that and do women still have that? He said, yes. I said, so I ain't missing nothing. I'm not missing anything. Riding a bike. It's like riding a bike. If I was dope then I'm gonna be dope now. Okay? And I will be dope with God's in 5 years. Okay? I am not about to let you push myself. I don't need any help in that area. See, this is going to show you don't know me. I need people that's gonna help me calm down in that area. I don't need help. I'm my own cheerleader in that area. Okay? So you telling me this is not going to make me be like, oh, well, wait, because I got to make sure I keep up with the positions. What? It's the same thing.
You've been listening to Pastor Steph
Let me tell you what has gotten worse in that area. This is what has gotten worse in that area. You have now went and got 7 more demons worse than you to now come and lay up with me. That's what has gotten. That's what has gotten.
I'm glad you fixed it, because if you left it at that cheerleader, we'd have been in trouble.
Listen, if you follow the Tucson teams, you already know.
Oh my gosh.
You need to be on Monday mornings.
Pastor Steph. Kind of candidacy and transparency. Oh,
Lord Jesus. My God.
Well, Tamika,
I guess she's 40.
Are your standards too high when you've been single for a long time despite actively dating? What do you say before we close this thing down?
There's a multiplicity of things that could cause you to be single for a long time. You know, you having your heart on your sleeve, you know, like, or you start today and you get into a conversation and they start talking to you and you divulge everything on day one. I can promise you, he's not coming back. You telling your whole life story. Y'all just sitting at a table. He just wants to, you know, have a little nice, you know, answer. Let me in time get to, you just put everything, you know. Being too emotional on day one, you know, pouring out your whole entire life story, you know, there's a multiplicity of reasons why that, you know, could be the case. You know, sometimes the mismatch, you see something that you like and y'all not matched at all. But because that thing is something that you think that you want, you know, the presentation, you know, then you're trying to figure out why is my relationships not working? You know, those could be some of the reasons why, even in dating process. And sometimes you got to work on you. Sometimes there's some things with you that need healing. And so you have it, you know, you're going from this relationship to the next relationship to another relationship. Wait a minute, where's the pause button? You know, even a television has a pause button, you know, anything that runs has a pause button. Why don't you?
Woo, absolutely. Can't keep going. My Due Time crew, thank you so much for your contribution into today's conversation. And we pray you have a blessed day.
Have a blessed day.
Thank you too.
Take care.
Woo. Boy. Only on his Due Time with Pastor Steph do we even get this kind of talk. You know, we're talking about, are your expectations too high? And are your standards too high? And there's several things that come to my mind. Your standards need to be parallel against God's. It needs to be side by side. And if it's not, you're going to be all twisted. I promise you. Because when we take our humanly side, the carnal side of things, and we take the fleshly side, the spiritual, the spirit side, like Shantice gave a really good example, whereas, you know, somebody challenged, you know, well, you ain't been in the game. How long has it been? They got some new stuff. And for the enemy, he knows all you have to do is challenge people and make them believe that they're going to be archived, outdated, unusable later, boring, and they'll shift gear on you in a minute. But only when you're in the Lord will you understand that what God has for me is what I need to hold my standards up against. If it means that I don't date right now, because like I said, with Pastor Chaos said, I have to detox. We seem to believe that we can go from relationship to relationship and we're not carrying things. We can go from relationship to relationship and we are going to be better because of what we just experienced. We seem to think that we can go from relationship to relationship without a pause because we're bolstered and we're ready. And that is so contrary. When you come from a breakup, especially if it's something long term, you need some detoxing for real. You need to get an opportunity to really look at that relationship. What went wrong and what went right. I had someone recently say to me, we needed a separation. And I thought we were going to be able to separate for a little while, but talk, kind of chit chat every once in a while, say, hey, how you doing? And it would be an easy thing. Wouldn't be that hard, wouldn't be that complex. And we could kind of bounce in and out. But at the same time, they said that they knew the person wasn't good for them. So I had to ask, okay, so then what's the purpose of the separation if you're going to be talking? Because when you talk, the only thing you're going to do is end up right back where you were. If you honestly feel that there needs to be that separation, that break, then separate. Then go ahead and make it a clean break. If God has it for you to be with that person and for that person to be with you, you will come back together again. But I don't need you in my ear with the same old you that I'm trying to separate from, and they don't need me in their ear who I feel we need to separate from. Because especially if it's a mutual separation agreement. But even if I'm the only one who feels I need to separate from this relationship, from this person, he don't or she don't need to hear from me either. They don't. Because you need to go and work out what you have to work out without me. I can't, why are we separating if I'm going to be a part of this workout? I can't be a part of this workout. So whether I go seek God or not, whether you go seek God or not, we need the break to be clear and clean. I don't need to talk to you. I don't need to say, hello, how you doing? If I'm in the Lord, I need to pray that God is keeping you. But I don't need to be constantly ringing your bell. You don't need to be constantly knocking on my door. I'm just calling to check on you because it ain't going to be that simple. It's not going to be, oh, hey, how you doing? Oh, okay. Thank you very much. Bye. We ain't doing that. We're not doing that. You need a detoxing period because only when you separate clean will you be able to really see what's wrong. Not only what's wrong with them, but what might be wrong with you. There's always room for improvement in every last one of us. We can always do better. Don't kid yourself. Don't kid yourself. You can always do better. I don't care who you are. We all can do better. You need to see, if God is telling you you need to separate from this person, then you will only be able to really see clearly when you're not around them. How many times have you finished with a person and then now you begin, I don't know when the begin is, but you're able to have a pleasant conversation. Ain't nobody arguing or there's no tension. And you're like, dang, this is what a conversation can really be like? The only way you knew and could recognize how great a conversation like that could be is when there's a clean break. So you need some detoxing. You cannot go into a relationship when you're carrying all this baggage. And unless you've had time to detox and to let God work on you, will you ever be able to see what God needs you to see? You need to change. I don't care what it is. You need to change something, even if it's slight. Even if it's just a little tick. There's something about you that needs to change based on what you just got finished going through. Why? Because when you go through a rough relationship, you change. You change. You either learn to tolerate some things you ain't got no business tolerating. You become more of an angry person. You become more resentful, especially if after all you done put in, you just had to let go. Oh yeah. You have possibly become more compromising, or you have possibly become a bully. There's something that God has to shake you from when it's time to separate. And the only way we're going to get that done is if it's a clean, just exit. Stage left, stage right. That's it. So when we're talking about high standards, are your standards too high? I'm challenging you that if your standards are not in alignment with God, it don't even matter. Because they could be too low, which is just as dangerous or maybe even more dangerous than them being too high. We don't have the right understanding of really who we are or what we want. I watched a person in a very abusive relationship, and it's not necessarily, it wasn't physical abuse. And they would keep saying to me, I know it's wrong, Steph. I know I shouldn't be in this, Steph. I know it's wrong, Steph. I know I shouldn't be there, Steph. I know there's somebody better for me. But I said, why are you there? You know what they said to me? Because at one point I did so much wrong to others that now I feel like it's my turn. So you now have inflicted the sentence upon yourself. You are judge and jury over this whole thing. So are you saying to me that you never went back to God and asked for forgiveness? You never repented? None of that? Because if God has forgiven you, then he very well may put you on a good path to find somebody. You may not have to suffer by taking someone else's mistreatment or garbage because of what you used to do. Now, I'm not saying that you would not have to, but now we are telling God how to punish us. So I'm saying to myself, you want to live like that because you feel that you've done somebody so wrong that this is what your punishment is? Is that what's happening? Are you serious? That's how you done just figured out your life. Oh, so now God don't have nothing good for you because at one point you did bad. You know what that's equivalent of saying? I don't deserve anything good because, I did so much bad, or God can't do nothing with me now because of all the stuff that I've done. That's not up to you. Just repent and ask God for forgiveness. That's it. Let God then dictate. And if God's got to leave you alone for a minute because of what you've done to others, then that might be the thing. Or God might just give you someone who's loving, who treats you well, but you have to deal with your consequence in another area. We can't tell God how to punish us. Oh my gosh. You know what? I constantly say, I heard this, I was told that. Y'all have no idea over the years how many conversations I've had, and I have heard so much erroneous stuff, and I'm just sitting there scratching my head, and I'm like, oh Lord, thank you for just walking me out of darkness into your marvelous light. Because even if I was not there where I am now, it was something that God gave me that knew 5 years ago that wasn't a good thing. And now God has really given me an understanding as to what is not a good thing and what a bad thing is. And oh my gosh, the stuff that I have heard and I've been told, I'm like, oh my gosh, boy, are we really, really, really driving the nail into ourselves? Really, is that what we're doing with one another? Is that what we're doing to ourselves? So if your dating standards, if you have dating standards, those need to be checked with God. You need to go to the Lord and ask God, God, this is what I think. Because we even had one that said, you know, we're thinking about what we can give, what we can get rather than what we can give. Already that's kind of off. Already that's off. So what we need to do is we need to just go to God and find out from God if this is time for me to even date. That may not even be your plan for me right now. Where, you know, Pastor KL said what he said was correct. People like, I'm running out of time and, you know, I can't have a baby and I'm going to be a 90-year-old mother and blah, blah, blah. There's a couple that they have on Instagram. They're like almost 60. They're two different ages, but close to 60. And I think, is this their first time getting married or their second time getting married? But neither one of them have children. And she's now pregnant at 50-something years old. And she's just a dancing and he's just a dancing and they're celebrating. And then on the flip side, you've got another woman, another woman who's like 53 or 54 and on Instagram, and she's crying, bawling her eyes out because she had children. She has children. But for years, she, you know, there was no indication that she could have kids. And after 53 years old or whatever, she's figuring, I'm good, I'm in the clear. Well, she now found out that she was pregnant. And she is upset and she is bawling. She was like, I'm not going to be no kid's mother. I'm going to be my kid's grandmother. And she's really distraught. And I'm just showing you two different sides of the fence about running out of time or being too old. These two over here, they partying. It was so cute to watch them. They're partying, they're happy, and they're dancing. And she's over there going, oh. We don't even know what God has for our lives. Now, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to be 60. Has somebody told me after my last child at 32, and I was now 45, and somebody said, Miss Griffin, you have two lines on this stick. I've been very unhappy. Very, very, very unhappy. Because Lord, I look at the state of the world now. No, thank you. I'm so glad I had my kids back in the day. But that's what we need to do. All jokes aside, all seriousness, we need to check with God and find out if you want me to date. And if you want me to date, Lord, I don't want to, move outside of your will on either side. So if you're saying, no, don't date Stephanie, or yes, it's time for you to date, or I'm preparing you. While we're single, here's the thing that I think a lot of us miss. While we're single, let God work and build us, because we don't know who God's going to send. And now when God sends, we ain't ready for that person. Some of us are looking at people who God meant for us, but we are just messing up everything because we didn't bother to get prepared. And now we're moving ahead and we are just trashing this whole process. So come on, let's get this thing together. Let's make sure that our plans and our thoughts and our feelings are aligned with God. And if there's nothing you can do that is better for you than what God has for you. I don't care how much you feel like you're running out of time, or you just tired of being by yourself, or I'm lonely. See what God has for you. What does God say? My infamous tagline. And that, I promise you, will always be the best route. You've been watching It's Due Time with Pastor Steph. Join us Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m., where we discuss matters of the heart, mind, and spirit. As you go through your day, be sure to set your mind on things that are above, not on things that are on the earth, because they will only serve as a distraction. Remember, prayer changes things. It's Pastor Steph signing off, and I want to thank my Due Time crew for always coming through big time. Thank you for hanging out with us and helping us do what we do. Please do not miss this opportunity to strengthen that relationship with the Lord. Make sure you just go before the Lord and you just give him your life, because it makes the difference. Time waits for no one, and nothing is promised to us past right now. Please, please, please join us tomorrow, and we'll be waiting for Freestyle Friday. It'll be the end of the week, God spares. Until then, I love you.